What is up, guys, and welcome back to the Sweat It Out podcast. Today, we're very excited with our special guest today. This is a very interesting one. This is the first time we do this, so we're definitely looking forward to this. And as you guys can see, we have a different setup going on, so it's going to definitely get fun, and we're going to learn a lot today. So today, we have the president and CEO of Sovereign Brands, a family-owned international wine and spirits company headquartered in New York, which sells its portfolio of products in more than 100 countries globally. And his company and him have developed some of the world's hottest brands, including the smash hit Luc Belaire line of French sparkling wines, and as well has a portfolio that includes Bumbu, a craft rum from Barbados, as well as McQueen and the Violet Fog, a small batch of gin from Jundiaí, and if not, you can correct me later, Brazil, Sovereign's newest release, Villain, which is revolutionizing the cognac category. He has also been featured on Forbes, Crain's Chicago Business, and Market Watch, among others, and has recently been recognized by Goldman Sachs as one of the 100 most intriguing entrepreneurs at the Goldman Sachs Builders Plus Innovators Summit. Please help us welcome the one and only Brett Berish. What is up, brother?
Ooh. Hi, guys. Anthony, Bryan, thanks for having me on. You made me sound great, so I'm not going to complain.
Well, it's your background that made it great, because, man, what a tremendous bio right there. I was reading, I was like, man, this is some cool stuff, man. And it's a pleasure to have you on here today.
I appreciate it, guys. I appreciate it.
Little side thing. I was like, man, I should have not shaved my beard last week, because there's moments I have it pretty long. You can ask him. There's moments I have it pretty long.
Next stop is you got to go gray. So just give it some time.
That's it. Hey, I've had a few of them pop up. I think I counted like 14, so it's coming.
Yeah, that's the stress, man.
That's the beginning of the end.
So, man, it's one of these things where it's like, where do we start? Because there's so many amazing stuff that I'm sure we can go into. So I think a good starting place would be, how did you even indoctrinate, what you're doing and get into this industry in the first place? What was that love or that made you fall in love with this?
I think a few things. One, clearly my father. My father was in the liquor business, and I have three older brothers, and every conversation at the dinner table was about liquor, was about brands. And I think that's one area. The second is I love brands. I love branding. I love storytelling. That'd be the second. And the third is just finally jumping into something I love, which was the first two. But it took a long time to get where I am. So it wasn't an overnight, nothing's overnight for me. So it wasn't overnight success.
So I got to ask you, Brett, you mentioned two things, falling in love, obviously, with being around the different liquors. And you mentioned you love brands. So do you consider yourself more of an expert brander and marketer, or would you say the actual liquor itself is what you're most expertise at, or both?
I think they go hand in hand, because you need one for the other. You can have you could be the greatest singer in the world, but if you can't package it, no one's going to know. You can have, if in my case, if the liquid's not good, they're never going to come back, and you may have the most gorgeous package. But I think branding is important, because for someone like me, or for those people starting out, if you don't have a lot of money, that brand's got to pop. So it's got to get a visceral reaction from people, because I don't have the money to go spend like a Bacardi and try to build a brand out of nothing. So you need both sides.
What's been one of the best liquors or best products that you had the most fun with, actually, from the inception to all the way marketing, promoting it, getting out there?
They're all, I got 6 kids. They're all special. They're all different. It's the same with brands. They all have a different story to tell. My first big brand was Armand de Brignac Spades. I don't know if you remember the gold bottle. Huge success. And that was neat because that happened before social media. Before you didn't have Instagram, and you didn't have, I think maybe we're getting blogs. So we built that traditionally through just word of mouth on articles and newspapers, magazines. And then now you have social media, and now we're building a brand a different way. So it's just neat to see that you got to take what you're given and adapt to it in order to evolve. And that's, I think we've been doing it now for 22 years. We just keep evolving. And I think that's what we're good at.
Love that. That's amazing. So I really want to ask you, Brett, from before social media, the social media days, was your audience different when you got onto social media, or did it enhance the current audience you did have and just brought more of it when you did get on social media?
It's a great question, Anthony. It's both. Meaning, nothing has changed. It's the same route to market. It's the same audience. It's the same direction. The difference is, and this is the way I view social media, is you can learn from your fans, from your customers. And that's the beauty of it. So, I get to talk to people in the music space. And I remember having a conversation with he's a famous artist named Russ. And Russ would go on the internet when he put a song out to see where they're listening to it. And he saw in the state of Washington, they loved him. So what did he do? He went to Washington. In the Middle East, they thought he was Middle Eastern. He's not, but they thought he was. But he went to the Middle East and performed because that's where his audience was. So that's what's amazing about the internet today, or social media, is that you can find your audience. And the key is show them love. Go there. Play off them. And that's what's special today for me, is I get to see how people react to our brands, and I get to give it right back to them. That's how we use it. That's how I like it.
So initially for you, when you first got into the social media space, what was the automatic feedback you were getting, and where was it that your audience, you were realizing this is where most of my audience is coming from?
It wasn't so much, it's just reactions. I remember we have a brand called Bamboo Rum, it's now the #1 premium rum in the United States. And we did this amazing skit, let's call it, with Lil Wayne. And it didn't perform well. And it was a video, and it didn't perform well, meaning not a lot of views, not a reaction. And I remember looking at Wayne's feed on his Instagram, and he had put something up that wasn't very good, but it just got tons of views. And the difference was ours was too perfect. It was the video was too good. The formatting was too good. And you realize you can look at social media, you can look at that instant reaction to see, okay, what's different about these two things, and how do I change it and adapt it? And I think, again, it gets back to, I think what we're good at is constantly pivoting, because I don't want to hold on to, what do they say? If you're going to fail quickly. And that's how I look at it.
With the pandemic and everything that's happened, have you seen an increase in sales with your line that you have going on?
Well, there's all our brands, incredible business. Is it because of the pandemic? Partly because more consumers are purchasing at home. It's also because our brands were already pretty big at the retail level versus what they call the on-premise bar restaurants. But I also think I'll give credit to our team and our distributors. The way we approached, the whole pandemic was, how do we get out and support our accounts? That's what we were really good at. And those retailers who didn't have, Instagram or social media, we were the ones promoting it, or we're talking about curbside pickup, or we're getting our celebrity friends to promote their accounts to get the consumers to go. So a lot of it was, we just changed directions on how we were trying to accomplish the same goal, which is to sell our products.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And it goes to show you the level of, the level of attention and careness that you have when it comes to your business and the retailers to help them out, because that was such a sensitive time of trying to figure out, what do we do? How does everybody survive? How can we support the people who come supply stuff through us, so that way they can go out there and distribute? What can we do? And I think that taking that initiative is just a huge step. And also too, it solidifies I would say it reinforces and solidifies your brand name even more, because the audience sees that and the audience gets behind that.
100%, and it's showing. I can't sell this product without our distributors. The distributors can't sell this product without the retailers, without the buyers. We're all in this, and we got to support each other to get through it. And that was our reaction. Okay, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? So to me, everything, and again, it's interesting. It gets back to that idea of, whether it's social media or the way we built brands before social media, and now the common thread between all that is the way we constantly are trying things. We're constantly our biggest success is our ability to. I don't know. I'm not smart enough to know what's going to work, but I'm smart enough to know if that I tried 10 different things, something could work.
Yeah.
Something could work. So just try things constantly. Oh yeah. Constantly.
So what is something that you're trying now in 2022, if you can share, that you would say you guys have been putting into effect, and see if it's something that you want to guys, maybe it could be a new liquor, maybe it's something with your current stuff or with your brand. Is there anything you're trying in specific going into 2022?
This interview is a great example. I've always said I'm nobody. It's my brands who I need to be the powerful thing. So all of a sudden, the more I can get out there, it's just an example. The more I can get out there, the more I can speak on behalf of our brands, the more I can be a beacon for what we're doing, then that gives power and support. But that came out of, again, just trying things. Every day, it's the way we do things. We're doing more things with artists. When I say artists, we're big in the music space, but now we're doing things with painters and designers and collaborating more. I think our brands are lifestyle. Yes, they're liquor and wine-based products, but they're lifestyle. So it's our materials. It's, what we wear, what we build. So we're trying things every day more and more because we think, our brands are bigger than just what's in the bottle. They have a meaning to them. So that's us constantly trying things.
So when you're picking, I guess, a partner to create these different liquors and these different brands, how do you find the perfect, I guess, partner to work with you to make the tequila and to make the cognac and to make the rum? What's the process for that? How do you know, or what is the criteria that you look for?
Yeah, so it's a whole very organic. We don't have any outside agencies. We don't look at stats. If anything, if a category is hot, I run away. I don't like that. I'd rather focus on things that the way we do it is we drink it. Before Bamboo, and I'll just use our rum as an example, I wasn't drinking rum, and then I started drinking rum, and then I started experimenting and trying things, and I started learning about the category, and then I started thinking in my team, which is just a few people in this case, thinking about how do we make it better? How does everyone else doing it? How do we make it better? And then we start playing around with recipes and distilling processes. And then we get to a point where, okay, we got something. Now let's go find the family who's going to help us bring this to market, meaning a producer. So we'll back into that. Where's the water from? We want to make sure the water is a critical component. Let's make sure we're sourcing it from the right place. Who can do this? And in this case, we ended up in Barbados, who knew that was the original rum island. And the island acts as a natural aquifer. You don't have to filter the water. And then we used our wine experience and in realizing grapes grown in different regions taste different. Same with sugarcane. Different sugarcane from different countries is different. So now we're 8 different sugar canes from 8 different countries. So all of that turns into what becomes the brand. And that's where the storytelling matters. But it's been the same with all our brands. It's literally, we're drinking something, we're trying it, we're seeing, can we make it better? That's the critical thing, Bryan. If I can't figure out a better way to make it, that it tastes better than what we're going after, we won't launch. I can't do it. I can't look you in the eye and say, this is a better product or better brand.
Amen to that. The quality behind that. I love the whole breakdown and the attention to detail of how you guys do things. And again, if it's something you like yourself, tasting it and seeing how we can make it better. I love that, because sometimes people just put products out there to put products out there. Or like you said, if it's just a trendy thing, everybody tries to get on the trend and just tries to make things quickly just to be able to not miss out on the trend.
Correct. And that's not us. I'm not the one to, it's not about some guy who developed something. To me, the product got developed based on the taste profile and what we thought was better. But everything, packaging matters. Our bottles are heavy. Our designs, most of them don't have any paper labels on the bottles. The corks are different. There's a lot of debossing on the glass. Like I want everything to be special to the point that you almost end up with two bottles, one you open, one you keep on the shelf.
Yes.
But that's what matters to me. And if I take it very personally, my team takes it personally. So we want the consumer to realize how special this is, because it is.
Totally. And you beat me to the next question I was going to ask you was, the aesthetics of your bottles, the presentation is so captivating. It's capturing, it's attention grabbing. How many times did you have to go through the process of figuring out the right ones? And then what inspired you to pick these specific ones that we have here?
It's everything from, I'm looking at our McQueen bottle, our gin, McQueen and the Violet Fog. It's almost, in some ways, and again, because I live and breathe the music space so much, it's like an artist. Sometimes you get the beat first. Sometimes you get a hook for a lyric. Sometimes you have inspiration from something that happened in your life. You put those things together, it turns into something, and that's what it is for us. McQueen and the Violet Fog, I imagine like this old school rock and roll band, Florence and the Machine, something and something. I'm a huge fan of Steve McQueen. I knew the name is big and meaty and long, but they're going to call it McQueen. We actually, if you ever have a chance, look at the back of the bottle. There's a poem on the bottle. It's the only probably brand in the whole world that has a poem on the back of the bottle. All the things coming together create the brand. So it's not again, I get back to, good brands to me is gut. It's just a gut feeling. This is what it feels like. This is what it looks like. This is what it should taste like. It's gut. And we hope our instincts are right and the consumers or our fans will appreciate those brands. But fortunately, we've had great success and it's working the way we see creating premium brands to the market.
Well, it's truly showing, and it's definitely grabbing people's attention, and the quality behind it is amazing. So since we already started with the McQueen and the Violet Fog, let's go around. I really want to know the story. I want to know a little bit more about each of these different bottles, which thank you, for you and your team to sending these out here. So I guess as you bring one out, we'll bring the one and we'll bring one in, and we definitely want to know about it. We're excited.
So Belaire is our oldest brand to date. It competes in the champagne sparkling category. It's from France. What's amazing is, this is the one thing that all my brands have in common is everyone told us, don't do it. Don't do it. It's not going to work. And fortunately, I'd say my first 6-7 years in this business, I made the mistake of listening to everyone else. And once I stopped listening, then things got easier. But Belaire was the same way. This little brand is now about to become the single biggest premium sparkling wine brand in the United States.
Congrats.
Which is amazing. But today we have 4 different cuvées. So 2 reds, 2 rosés, one a little bit sweeter, and then 2 what we call the white side of the category, one a little bit sweeter. It's produced in France, as I said. It's probably in close to 100 countries. Just an amazing brand. We're now the single largest sparkling rosé in the United States, which is amazing. And then we've got, I don't know if they sent you this, but have you seen this, the blue bottle?
We don't have that one. We don't have it, but we'll definitely get one.
This you'll be lucky. Maybe that's why we didn't send it. There is none. This is the last one. This is the single hottest wine or spirit in the United States right now. It's insane. It's this beautiful blue, crisp, liquid wine. The taste is completely different. The package is gorgeous. It's like a supermodel. But this is our oldest brand, Belaire. But it's just phenomenal brand. Just phenomenal brand.
How do you get that blue color in there?
It's a process that it took us a long time to figure out because we need the color to stay, and we wanted a blue that just speaks, almost tropical, almost like that Caribbean blue that you see. But it's an amazing brand that just caught everyone's attention, where they're reselling it for 5 times the price. It's crazy, or it doesn't even reach the floor at retailers. But I highly recommend, I'll try to get you guys a bottle, I promise. But it's just amazing.
So that's a perfect one for Miami then.
Oh yeah,
there
definitely.
We go. So next ones, I know you said the Belaire line. So you being your oldest, so I know we got 2 more. So I know we got the white and gold over here. So what's the story behind this
white
one?
bottle? So champagne is, you've got different styles. So what in the champagne category, your biggest category is Brut, and do you have the gold bottle?
We have the
right
gold
here.
over here.
Yeah, so that would be everyone's biggest category is the gold bottle. So this is Chardonnay, 100% Chardonnay. And this would be everyone's main line, our main line. The Luxe that you have there is what you call a demi-sec. Demi-sec is a slightly sweeter version. But I think we're the single biggest, probably demi-sec in the country now with that white bottle. So those are the 2 white sides. And then the 2 rosés, the red sides are the black bottle, which is where we started. We call it the black bottle rosé, and then we have something called Luxe Rosé, which is the pink bottle. And this one, again, is a little bit sweeter. So 2 sweeter sides and 2 drier sides for the brands. So there's 5 total SKUs, 5 total styles to Belaire.
Very, very cool. Very insightful too. So now as we move on, we have 2 more. So we got the Villain here. So
yeah,
what's with this one? I really like the design, by the way.
Yeah, it's called
Villon.
No, it's okay. In the 14th century, there's a poet. His name was Francois Villon, who was just an iconoclast, a badass. He went against the grain. He was completely different. His poetry was about sex, about music. He fought against back then, or the equivalent of our government today, our leaders. He was ultimately kicked out of France and killed by a monk. It's a famous story, and the brand is named after Villon. And some people think that the word villain actually comes from Villon, based on him. But it's a new brand that competes in the cognac and liqueur categories. It tastes completely different than anything else out there. The key to all my spirits is drinking it straight. That's when you know it's fantastic. You can mix it in anything, it'll be good, but drinking it straight's the power. And the snake and the dagger is our logo, but it's just a kick-ass brand that we just launched in the US in 2021 last year, sold everything out. It competes with Cavassier and Remy and Hennessy. But we're kicking some butt in this brand. So this is our youngest brand to date.
Amazing.
And then this one, Bamboo, please try this. This is, as I said, is the #1 premium rum in the United States. It's #1 in the UK, Jamaica, Belgium, Austria, Canada, Latvia. It's probably in 70 plus countries. It's amazing. You can drink it straight. You can drink mojitos. You can drink pina coladas with it. You can do dark and stormies. It's got this big long cork. You want to bite it off the bottle. A big X on the bottle, like X marks the spot. But just a fantastic rum produced in Barbados. And then over the past year or so, we introduced 2 line extensions. One's a black bottle, which is called XO. And then one is a white bottle, which is called Cream, Bamboo Cream, which is just skip dinner, go straight to drinking.
Good advice, sir.
Yeah, I'm ready right now.
I like it.
That's our 3rd brand. And the last one is McQueen. So McQueen, you said it right. It's a little town called Jundiaí outside of Sao Paulo, Brazil. It's got 21 different botanicals, 2 different distillation methods, masterization and vapor infusion. It already got the highest score you can get in the gin category, written up in the New York Times. It's in about 30 countries, and it's just starting. It's just starting to be introduced all over the U.S.
So, Brett, two questions for you. Favorite drink to make with the bamboo, your personal favorite, and then out of all these that we have here, which one's your favorite to take straight up?
Good question. My go-to drink right now is I mix my two bamboos together.
Okay.
I do cream and this, or I do the XO and this, and the white bottle.
So skipping double meals, double dinners.
Exactly. That's my favorite. In terms of straight, I go to both black bottles. The VO, I'll drink it straight, and then Bamboo XO, I'll drink it straight. It's like a big piece of dark chocolate or a fat cigar. It's just, you don't need to mix it. You don't need to mix either of them.
And which of these for each bottle, what's the best setting? Whether it's to, an event or a party, or if you're having it with dinner, what are the best ones for each category?
Clearly, I mean, I'm not it's tough because you're asking me that question. I drink based on what I feel like drinking, not what I feel like eating. I work the other way. Most people, you eat your food and then you decide what you want to drink. I'm the other way.
I like that.
For me and for us, it's not an occasion. It's every day. Do I feel like a gin and tonic? Do I feel like doing having on the rocks? Do I feel like having a glass of champagne? Do I feel like having a French 75? Do I feel I love dark and stormies? So it's mood to me. It's mood drinking. What mood am I in?
Like that.
And that's how I drink. But trust me, I'm drinking every single day.
Brian, what mood are you in?
I'm in the mood right now to try the bamboo right now.
All right, we're gonna have
to be honest with you. If I had a glass, would open it right now.
We're gonna have to do that after the podcast. We're gonna definitely try that.
It's amazing, and this gets back to Anthony. I think you said, or Brian, about which is more important, taste or the look and feel. In Canada is our number one market in the world.
Wow.
We're the number one premium rum there. And I love saying this because I think it just tells a great story. No one from my company's ever been there.
Wow. That's crazy.
It's word of mouth based on taste. That's it. Nothing else. It's the taste, and it just sells. There's a little country, Latvia, which is 1.9 million people. We sell the equivalent of 2 million cases if that was in the United States. It's not like rum is a thing, but if a brand is good, if it tastes good, people want it. And that's what this brand is.
Now, I love this interview. This is probably one of the best interviews I've done. Anything with alcohol, that's it. You already won it. How involved, and I was wondering because you were bringing up Lil Wayne, you're bringing up all these different artists. How involved are these artists when it comes to developing these brands? Are they involved in the creative process of this? Like, how involved are these artists?
They're not. And the same reason, the brands are not made for anybody but the audience who's drinking them. So that's what they're made for. It's not like I'm thinking, geez, what would this person like? That's not, to me, that defeats the purpose of the brand, of what it was meant for. The artists, and again, we work with a whole bunch, it's a space that I like. It's a space where I think there's a collaborative effort where people can get behind, and it's real. So if I use, Wayne as an example, he loves our brand. He loves Bamboo. So let's figure out a way to work together. If it's Wiz Khalifa, which is he loves our gin. Let's figure out a way to work together. So everything to me has to be real. It's not a paycheck. I'm not chasing the next hot thing because that doesn't feel right. I want it to be authentic. I want it to be, you're not mailing it in. You really feel this stuff. When Lil Wayne creates a little pendant for himself with a little Bamboo bottle that actually has bamboo in it, that's real. You can't fake that shit. So that's what we try to do, where I'll work with anybody and everybody who supports our brands, because then I know there's something we have in common.
Well, that's it, Brett. So we're gonna drink these, and then we're gonna figure out a way how we can work together because you got us locked in.
Done.
You got us locked in.
It's I did an interview actually last week with an artist named Juicy Fruit, and we just shot her video. But Juicy loves Belaire Blue, loves it, just eats it up, can't get enough of it. So how do we work together? What can we do? Like that's how we build is that real authentic relationship where I want to have a personal relationship. I want to know that, what we just finished doing, that's not the end, that's the beginning. Mm-hmm. That's the goal.
The longevity. I always say play for the long term, not the short term. That's how I always like to build my stuff. Anything I do.
100%.
So, Brad, I gotta ask because since taste is such a huge factor for you, and obviously because of the quality of your liquors and what you're doing here is what represents a brand. If you can say on the commonality aspect between all from your regular everyday population to your artists, from interviewing them or seeing their reactions when they actually taste it, what would you say is like that first common word or saying that comes out of their mouth when they taste it on the spot?
Oh, it's my favorite thing in the whole world is tasting people who don't usually drink that category and getting that reaction. So Bamboo is that way, or if they're a cognac drinker and they try VO and they're like, oh shit, what? Or God, I don't drink rum. Well, just try this. This is good. I'm drinking this straight. Like there's nothing better. There's nothing better than getting, and that's the point. That's the point of my brands. If I can't, and as I said earlier, if I can't make it better than the brands I'm competing against, I won't launch it because I want that reaction. I have two Bamboos, the clear bottle and the black bottle. They taste drastically different. I want someone to say, I like it when they say, I don't like this one. I really like this one, or vice versa. That's okay because you want to attach yourself to something. You want to have that strong reaction to it.
Or you pull a Brett and you combine both of them.
You combine the two. And again, that gets back to social media. We saw that on social media. They call it the XOG. So we call this the OG, and the other is in the original, and the other one's called XO. And that's where social media is awesome. We saw consumers started mixing the two and call it XOG. And we're like, well, that's interesting. Let's try that. It's amazing. It's amazing. Or someone came up on the internet with the Villionaire. They mixed Vion with Bamboo Cream. They call it the Villionaire. We ran with it. That's our drink recipe now. That's our main cocktail.
Brett, let me ask you this. So you're very big within the music industry. You're very connected with it. Are you yourself an artist, or have you done any music yourself? Just out of curiosity.
This is an art in itself.
Not at all. I'm a big, however, I'm just one, I love hip hop, but two, I'm a big fan of, most artists in the hip hop space are individuals. It's just one person. So, it's not a rock band where there's a group. So to me, there's something really appealing about somebody just doing somebody on their own, they're making it happen. I think it's the hardest thing in the world to do. To me, I just connect with it. And and now to the point where we are active in it and is we're getting behind music. We're filming videos. We're putting artists together. We don't get anything out of it, but we're trying to put our financial prowess behind them so that we can support them in different ways. So we got a big push right now with Africa. We want combining African artists with American artists and doing collaborations. Love that. We've done so many different artists where we're hooking them up together because we play in this space. So we're not a label. We don't want to be a label. We just want to be there for the artists and watch them grow.
Love that. That is so unique, especially in the African music space where it's coming out right now in the United States, like Thames and all these different artists that are killing it. So it's really unique.
And it's also fun because for me, we've had brand ambassadors work with us. Post Malone, when he had one song as a hit, A Boogie with the Hoodie, Gierbo. These guys were small. Now they're enormous, but we were there. We were there from the beginning, and so it's a cool thing to be able to be able to support artists in a different way. And that's what we're trying to accomplish. So we're leaning into that.
So Brett, because I got to ask, because, artists now, there's a big craze with the whole NFTs and all that stuff. Are you doing anything with your brand and NFTs?
Well, we're just touching it and learning about it. To me, it gets back to the same philosophy of, if we're going to do something, it's got to be done well and right. It can't be half-assed. That's my concern. Yeah. The NFT has to have longevity. It's got to be constantly supported. So I need to make sure what we're doing kind of fits that mold. But I'm a big fan of pivoting. And if there's a role we can play or work with other people, we want to try that.
So, well, definitely when we figure out how to actually taste the NFT, then we're talking about something else.
Exactly. That's a good point.
So when it comes to the pivoting, what would you say are some of the biggest pivots that you're doing now going into 2022? I know you say you're trying some of these calibrations and stuff like that. Is there anything else that you would say is sticking out in your business right now, or that you're looking to get into?
I think it's funny. I sent a note to my team. The bigger we get, the more layers there are as a company. And what I don't want to lose, and to me, this is the most important, and I sent this note out to my team, is consensus doesn't make for good ideas. And I don't want my people and I need my team to just go try it, just go do it. If you're looking for everyone to sign off on it, no one's ever going to agree. Once you start asking too many people, you're never going to get consensus. It's not possible. So I just want to keep trying things. Every day we pivot. Every day we try things. Every day I have terrible ideas. I get shot down. That's okay. Let's keep trying things. But Anthony, it's an everyday thing. There's never one big idea because I don't know what it is. I'll give you a different answer. In the music space, if every artist I've ever asked, their number one hit, their biggest song, commercial success, is always the one they never thought was going to be successful. Was always the song they never thought would do anything. They didn't want to release. And that just constantly tells me and reinforces the fact that you just got to put shit out there.
Love that.
You got to try stuff.
I love that. That's the best thing that a lot of people underestimate. You have to be consistent. You have to be deliberate, and just don't be scared. At the end of the day, just put it out there, because the other person's opinion of you shouldn't even matter. Let the audience out there determine what your product is worth in the marketplace, and that's beautiful.
And the first brand in this portfolio with Belaire, the black bottle, I remember introducing it to my distributor. They said we wouldn't sell 500 cases. It's not going to work. They told us, change the bottle. Don't put it. You can't have a black bottle. You can't see the liquid. You can't launch rosé first. Years ago, I would have listened. I would have changed everything. And then, at least at that time, I said, no, I'm not going to do anything. We sold 10,000 cases the first year. But that's the same with all the brands. But it's very hard to not listen. But that's the key to success, is just doing your thing.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but when you launched at Belaire, the first time I was introduced to this actual brand was watching a DJ Khaled post. And I don't know if that's something that you guys were collaborating with, but he had a huge bottle, and I see him just jumping in his pool, promoting it. And then I actually went on it and bought it, and I was like, all right, let me try and see what the hype is about. So that was a very well curated, planned out. And I think DJ Khaled, if he was the main person you were intending to promote this, he did a fabulous job.
He's a great marketer himself.
Khaled was a perfect example. Khaled was a huge fan of Belaire, huge fan of our brands and everything we did. He wanted to do something, wanted to work together. That's how I live and breathe, is I want that authentic, real relationship. He's a great friend. We share the same birthday. I love him to death. But that's meaningful to me. All these guys they're meaningful relationships in the sports world, in the music world. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. As long as, if there's a way we can all benefit, it's a good thing.
That is 100% correct. And I love how that everything going back to your brand and yourself, it's about how can we all, benefit as a community, as our, together with our collaborations, our audience, and just constantly bringing that, that brand message forward of what you stand for. And when you have that message clear, people want to get behind it, which I think is truly amazing. And, I just want to say one more thing, the way that even on here, the way that you've presented everything, the way you presented yourself, it's left, at least for me personally, it's left me, wow, the information, the upfront value, which I think a lot of people are scared to do nowadays, is give that extra upfront value because of competition or because they don't want to share their secrets. And I'll tell you right now, the upfront value today has been amazing.
Well, it's a labor of love. You can easily tell that. Yeah.
And I think it's what Bryan, what you just said, there's two things. One is I learned a long time ago, it's not about money. It's about what you like to do, and there's no rush. It took me a long time to realize this. So you combine that with the fact that no one can replicate you, if that makes sense. And it's a good feeling, however, to give back in a way where I wish there was somebody like me for that 20-year-old me who gave me advice or told me things like this. I just think it would allow me to breathe a little bit easier. Failing is okay. Trying things is okay. Success takes time. I'm not one of those people where it wasn't easy. That's my story. It wasn't easy. But it's fun now because we keep doing it and just keep doing it. And we stick to a formula, and it's real and authentic, and that I can live with.
Well, Brett, what can I say? It's truly remarkable to see what you've built. First off, beating the odds, trusting your gut, and really being passionate about this. I just want to personally say thank you, for taking time to come on here today and share this with us and inform our audience of what you've been doing, what you got going on, and all the future, aspirations that you're inspired to help with collaborations and, just getting that amazing brand out there, and most importantly, how you're incorporating it as a lifestyle.
Yeah, it's fun. And as I said, the easiest thing I can say about our brands is they're the best, and I want people to try them because they're the best. So it feels good to be able to say that. And I have a lot of confidence in myself. I have a ton of confidence in my brands.
Well, I'll tell you right now that the confidence walks within all these bottles because I sense it.
I taste it.
Yeah, that's it.
Try them. McQueen, Vion, Belaire, and Bamboo. Try them, please.
We definitely will. So, Brett, before we wrap things up, we always like to go through a little quick burn around, but we also want to give you the floor real quick to, work to allow people to find you, connect with you. Where are the best places to do so?
You can go to our website, sovereignbrands.com, or the individual brands, Belaire, Bamboo, McQueen, and the Violet Fog, and Vion. On Instagram, you can go directly to me, Brett Berish, CEO, at Instagram. Ideas, brand ambassadors, we're an open book, so just reach out to us.
Amazing. You guys heard it. So time for the quick burner round of questions. All right, Brett, question number 1. Since we haven't tried any, which is the first one that we have to try and then the follow-up to that one?
Go dry to sweet. So if you're going to taste Belaire, go try first. So try the gold and try the rosé, and then try the Luxe and then Luxe Rosé.
Okay, perfect.
Bamboo. Oh, you gotta go OG first. OG first, and then hit the XO.
Done. Next question. So who was the biggest mentor that you had in your life that helped you direct you to where you are today?
It sounds cheesy and corny as hell. It's my mother. She's my inspiration. She's fearless. She's tenacious. She's a little clueless, and that's a good thing. She just instilled this, I can do it. You need supporters in your life. She's my rock. She was every bad shit thing that ever happened. She's the one who said, just pick yourself up. You can do this. Don't stop.
That's amazing. Are we going to see a mama liquor brand come out?
She's on every email. She's 91 years old. She rollerblades every day.
Woo!
She's got her own business cards. She hits up everybody. Yeah, she's on every bottle, no matter what. She's part of every bottle.
Man, I love that. 91 and still living it. And she incorporates. She drinks these often. Then I'm guessing too.
She drinks these. She will not leave the house without a shirt, a hat, a jacket of our brands.
Oh my!
She's a walking billboard.
We're gonna have to interview your mom next.
I know.
Love it. Next question: what is the craziest and wildest experience you've ever had in your career?
Craziest and wildest. Oh, I've had a bunch. I think one of the best ones I have to say it's actually a past brand. It was with Armand de Brignac Spades, where we sold $1 million basically worth of bottles at a nightclub in Monaco for the Grand Prix called Billionaire. That was just insane. That was just insane.
Oh my gosh.
And then the final question: what was the biggest obstacle that you were faced in your career, and how did you overcome that?
I had investors way back. The company wasn't doing well. They wanted to wind up the company. I remember saying literally to my mother, telling her what was happening. She told me she'd sell all her rings for me to put money back in the business. I stopped paying taxes, stopped paying my mortgage, put all my money back in the business, and here I am today.
That's a tremendous risk taker right there. Wow.
So well worth it. I still can't get a credit card, but well worth it.
I would do it too. Oh my God, man. It's truly amazing. And the question we always wrap up with every guest is, what is the biggest piece of advice you would leave off to all our listeners today in one single sentence?
There's so many. Try shit. Try things. Try. There's sometimes not having a plan is the best plan. You got to try stuff.
Love that answer. Guys, you heard it. Try shit, because sometimes it's better to just go all in, even if you don't have an exact plan in place, and you will be able to develop that along the way. So, guys, if you got value out of this, if you got one takeaway that you can start applying to your life, and again, trying some of these amazing bottles that we have right here, would appreciate it if you, first of all, go show love to Brett, go to his links, go to his pages, get yourself some of these, and then if you did get value, we would appreciate it if you get like, subscribe, comment, drop a rating, leave a review, because the more love you can show us, the more love we can show back. Till next time on the Sweat It Out podcast.